Hello. I decided that because it's going to be the New Year, ça va être le jour de l'an. The year 2024 is starting. We're almost at the end of 2023, and my idea is to share what I'm doing, uh, how I'm planning everything, and hopefully it's gonna be helpful for you to maybe inspire you to modify certain things or make it part of what you do as well. So my guitar is one of those things that I keep doing, and for I think 3 years now, I've done some lessons, uh, one every year of about I don't know 1 hour or something like that. And so this year is not an exception. I'm going to do it as well. So how can I share this? So what I've been doing with the guitar is mostly going to take lessons on artist works because you have many websites. There's TrueFire. There's Jamplay. There's a few websites that have tons of lessons. So you just go and pick your instructor, something that suits you, that fits what you want to learn, and you take their lesson, their series of lessons. And so I've done Jamplay in was it 2019, and 2020 at the end of 2020 I've done Artist Works, and I've been steady with it for 3 years now. So this is in the perspective of, first of all, acquiring a new skill. It's not a bad thing to be able to play guitar. I love playing guitar. I always played guitar since I'm 16. I always enjoy, and I use the internet to learn and help me with the tablature, with Ultimate Guitar, like I said in previous videos. Uh, and now it's much more content, much more easy to get lessons online and study topics about music online. So at that point, I had the schedule that there's different topics of music that you can go through. So the warm up. Usually, the warm up. I would go with maybe something that I know before that I can play. Some warm up. The warm up is just to get your fingers going. So the right hand and the left hand both. So having something that's gonna make you activate the fingers, the brain, and the arm, and getting you into maybe a little rhythm, or getting you to get into the beat, because I don't know, maybe you're tired or don't feel like it. So once you're there and you're playing, usually things start getting easier. Uh, Maybe if you had a big meal, maybe not, or if you feel particularly uninspired or having a very bad day, then maybe, yeah, maybe it's gonna be hard all the way through. Maybe you're gonna just put a half hour and that's gonna be it. You're just gonna try to avoid doing anything. But other days, you just, once you're warmed up, it gets easier, and you just enjoy it. You start enjoying it. So And then you wonder, why was I not in the mood to do this? Because I'm actually feeling excited and I'm having growth. So the idea is to have growth and success. And if you have that, it's going to motivate you, it's going to inspire you further. Maybe you're going to be excited about learning this particular piece. So a lot of the things that the way that I spend my time is with exercises and techniques. So there's a lot of I don't know. You can get them online. These are not necessary. They're not songs. They're just I don't know. You put the metronome on, and then there's certain notes that you have to play on in time. Certain techniques. I don't know. I had I've been doing some sweep picking, for example, or tapping exercises. These can be flashy techniques. I don't know how well you can incorporate them into songs, but on their own, it's pretty good. It's pretty nice to learn. I think it's worth it to learn, and then maybe you can get faster with it. Just the fact that you know how to play those can be like alternate picking, which can be improving your speed. Uh, you can always use it in improvisation as well. So uh, what's fun with the internet is that you can get backing tracks for guitar, and so for songs as well, but for improvisation as well. So you just put on the backing track in the key of, I don't know, A minor, and then you go through your minor pentatonic, you go through your minor scale, and then maybe try the different techniques like bends and tapping, and just seeing like little phrases that you can do. Uh, so this is useful to memorize the scales and be able to play them all over the neck in a certain key. So, for example, if you're playing in A, then you can learn the scales all over the neck, memorize them all over the neck, which is a very hard thing to learn and memorize. But that's mostly what guitar playing is. It's memorizing things, and piano is also something. Um, so on techniques, there's a lot of stuff. You can and you can start with like it's maybe helping your understanding of the fretboards, maybe helping your rhythm. Uh, for example, one of the things is that you have I don't know, you can sing even something and then replicate it on the instrument. You can play the rhythm of something that you know, but change the notes. Um, you can find the different octaves, phrase, and different octaves or different keys. So a lot of the well, there's a lot of stuff in the website the artist works, but a lot of it is like learning songs, learning little fast arpeggios, or learning scale patterns. There's chords. So it's not just learning songs, but finger picking chords, and yeah, a lot of complex chords. So the more complex, it's always a challenge, and it's always something to learn and memorize and just keep going, keep exercising your concentration, because when you do it a lot, your concentration improves. So it's like a meditation, but you can learn longer pieces, more complex pieces, and then I like to, whenever I'm learning on a almost a daily basis new material, when I'm working on new material and I'm getting a little improvement and I feel like I'm getting somewhere, I'm gonna record myself and post it on Instagram. Sometimes I share it on Facebook as well. So this is allowing me to, first of all, see myself, hear myself. Is this any good? Maybe it's not perfect. And then there's also the look. Do I look good? What is the style that I want to have in my clothing, for example, or the way that I present myself? Uh, so I post on a regular basis on Instagram, and I'm now over 1,000 posts since mid 2020. So more than 3 years now, 1,000 posts, and it's all quality. It's all quality stuff, and I'm not repeating myself. Very rarely that I'm repeating myself because I go through it and I edit it. I take away the things that are double or that are uh, less complex, less interesting. So I try to keep the things that are sounding good. Um, so it's a good thing to be able to see it for yourself, how you sound, and maybe it's gonna push you into, and you can go back to it and then see, oh, I've improved there. I think that's way better. Or, like I've done so many of these little videos, like I'm doing right now. Some of them I send them directly to Paul Gilbert, and he observes my playing, and then he comes back with me with an answer or something that I can work on, maybe a little positive criticism to help me. So that is very appreciated. I'm very happy about that. I think he's an excellent teacher. Couldn't have a better teacher than that. Very appreciative, and hopefully I'm doing a good job on my side to be able to do what I need to be doing. So, uh, but I think right now it's pretty much finished my 3 years, and I'm not renewing for next year. So, because I think I've gone through most of the material anyway. So, and there were a lot of lessons, and the thing is that almost every day there's 5 new lessons. So it keeps me busy for almost 2 hours. So, but I do skip days. But like last year, I was putting in, I don't know, 8 hours per week of guitar. So, um, and mainly focused on the lessons, the materials, because it's always something. The idea is to go through the things that you know. Maybe if there's something that you think is a little bit improving, then you can work on it, see if how good you can make it, and going through the things that you know, and then going through the things that are new and that you're working on. So trying to increase the challenge. Sometimes things are just too easy, but most of the time there's always a little bit of a challenge there. So those things that are too easy, sometimes they're not good to be sharing because they're just too easy. There's nothing exciting about it. Nothing sounds good. Nothing very interesting. So usually I don't share. I would share maybe just one thing that is new, that sort of sounds good. And on Facebook, I also share, but quotes this time. So most of the time is just I'm doing my journaling in the morning, and then find an interesting sentence, and I thought, oh, that sounds good, and that's what I feel. So I'm gonna post it. So I post it every day. Uh, I've been doing that since 2008. So 15 years of posts on Facebook. In the beginning, when I was using Facebook, I was not so regular. Just posting a few quotes here and there, and posting my work whenever I had something that's a finished product. I'm gonna post it there, and just to, I don't know, invite people. Well, this is what's happening. I'm having an art show, so we're having this episode tonight with the radio or whatever the event. So that's what I used to share. But now I'm almost sharing anything. I'm just sharing what I cook. I share selfies. Really not a big deal, and nothing that's really something that I really worked on. Can be anything. Uh, so I've done so many of those different social medias. Like I've done SoundCloud. SoundCloud, I have tons of stuff there. Stuff that I worked with Workman Arts with, uh, movie reviews, interviews, and then I have my RTNT radio. That's on the podcast, the Progress Place website, I think. And there's my website, and I have two websites. I have Cargo Collective, on La Maudite Misère, which is my autobiography, the most recent one, which is huge. And there's the one on WordPress, which is also, I think, La Maudite Misère, where I have more of a portfolio of the different things, even including my visual art. And my artist statement. The artist statement is the thing that, because I've been talking so much about my art and trying to define, oh, this is really what's the important part of my art. My art for me is like, it's for personal growth, connection. It's a way of challenging myself, of learning. So why I'm doing what I'm doing is that's the reason. So uh, my music practice also includes ear training. Ear training is using Tone Savvy, the website, and then getting the intervals, chords, scales, sounds into my ears, chord progressions, just to be able to recognize what mode I'm hearing, what scale I'm hearing, what interval I'm hearing, what chord, what note. So just really getting really trained, my ear to be very trained. There's also new music. So this is a almost on a daily basis. There's always a new album or new radio show that I'm listening to. And sometimes I go back to the previous ones that I loved from the past. So just going back to old music or old albums that I used to love. So I'm happy about that. There's always something to be finding on the internet that keeps you interested. It could be Guitar World magazine, for example, or having a watching an interview from Paul Gilbert, or an interview from an artist that you love. So we're watching the Metallica show. They had the Metallica in Montreal last autumn, and it's on online, so you can just go and see it. The 2 days there, 4 hours of Metallica, all the songs. So and then there's sometimes when you listen to music, you think I could play that, and then, or at least I want to try to see if it goes anywhere. And so there's always songs or solos or little parts that you think maybe I could learn it, and then you try and you see if it works. And you can have music sheets. I don't use tablature, only exceptionally, because when I go on YouTube, usually they have some guy that's playing, and he's super super good, and he has the tablature there, so it's really not creative in my opinion. It's just follow the, feels like a Guitar Hero type of thing. Just follow along with the notes and try to imitate what the guy is doing. So I don't find that super fun. I don't think that's very creative. I'm not bringing anything new to. It's I try to avoid that, and I'm never gonna be as good as the guy that's playing anyway. So, and then there's piano. There's piano music sheets, which I know how to learn. I learn how to read music, so I can learn the note by note. I have this Final Fantasy book that I got, and I learned a lot of the songs there. There's still more to be working on because they're very complex. So I like that. They're challenging, but there's a good level of challenge, and just helps me with like my concentration, my memory. It helps my brain, my focus, my uh, so I think there's I wish I had a better piano. I just have this little cheap keyboard that's just so. For tone, it's really just about whether you use distortion or how much distortion you use, and how do you play. I personally, 3 years ago, I was using a lot more distortion because when I was teenager, I was learning with punk rock. Told this before, but punk rock, you just put the distortion in the maximum, and it's just power chords, and it doesn't matter if it's messy or not because it just sounds good. But when you get into complex chords, and then I'd rather have almost no distortion, almost nothing. Uh, and as for pedals, I can't afford it, so I'm not gonna be playing with pedals. There's melodies, so vocalists playing 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 what vocalists play on the guitar. So vocalists sings, and then solos. So I've learned maybe between 5 and 10 solos that are pretty advanced, and I think most of my time goes into technique and exercises, learning songs, learning solos, a little less with improvisation, and ear training has certainly a place. with learning new music and listening to new music. That's that. And I bought a classical guitar, so I can do a little finger style or open classical. I'm planning on learning a little bit of Tony Emanuel style, and there's the Ibanez. There's the Stratocaster. Ibanez is much more a well-rounded instrument. It's $1,000 and it's very quality. I'm very happy about it. The strings are super complicated to change, and I learned how to change the strings as well. So that's another thing that you need to learn, or that I need to learn. You don't need to learn anything, but and then there's the Jackson guitar, which is it's pretty decent. I think it does have a place, and it looks good. This is the guitar that's in the background. That's like a Metallica type guitar, and I like the look of it, and it's okay. It's okay. It's not the best. It does feel cheaper than the other ones, but sometimes it's nice to use. So yeah, my two favorites I think are the Ibanez and Strat. Ibanez because it's such a well-rounded instrument and you can play anything with it. The fast stuff is just really fun and easy with it. The chords are also sound good, but if you're going with power chords, it's more the Stratocaster, I think. If you're going with punk rock or something more with more distortion, maybe even the chords. I think the chords sound good also on the Strat. So I think the Strat is more maybe a rhythm instrument more than a lead instrument. So, but you can still play solos, but it's harder to play. I think. So, so I'm whenever I'm posting like I think the big difference between 10 years ago, where I was in Montreal uh, and doing programs, my social media had was just a little part of my life. And usually I try to post something that looks good, but now social media is taking a much bigger place, much larger space. I think since the pandemic, especially now, the main way of communicating with people is through social media, through the camera, because its technology is super. First of all, you don't need to go out of the house. You don't need to drive or pollute the air. So, and everybody has it, and it's just practical, I guess. So that means that this is the game. So this is the new way of doing things, and this is how. So the so you need to get your shit together because on social media because it really matters, and the people that have done their work or their studies in that are the people that are successful that are so because first of all, if you share something on social media, it's just what you choose to share, and there's a whole other world that is outside of what you choose to share. So um, I know for me in the beginning, one of the mistakes that I did was I tried to show that my life is really good, or I try to show the best pictures of me, try to just show how everything is fine. And the fact was, when I was sharing those things, my life was a mess. And I was homeless. I was in the mental hospital. I was on meds. I was everything chaotic. Everything. I was having mental health issues. And what I was trying to portray online was this idea of beauty, success, everything is fine. So I had to learn that just because, I don't know, the camera doesn't show everything. So whatever you choose to share, um, it's not the whole picture. So that means that behind the scenes, behind the camera, you need to have some self-care, and you need to take care of yourself. This is much more important than being an artist or having something special to share to the world through social media. What's more important is your health. Are you sleeping well? Are you eating well? Are you doing your chores? Are you exercising? These are those fundamental things that make you function and function well and be happy, be healthy. So, those are the things that you need to prioritize before you even start sharing anything on social media. So, in first of all, in nutrition is a very big topic, and there's so much to discover and experiment with nutrition, things that work for you, what doesn't work for you. And maybe at the point where I'm now, I'm trying to find foods that are the cheapest and the most nutritious. That means that I could potentially make money, save money through uh, what I buy and how I cook. If I'm cooking with things that are cheap and that are nutritious, like tofu, for example, or seeds. I'm eating pumpkin seeds now, and so there's a lot of ways of making foods more nutritious, more that is going to make you feel full for longer time. Whole grain, for example, whole wheat. Always go with a whole wheat. If you're doing pasta, if you're doing rice, if you're doing uh, bread, all whole wheat. It's healthier for you. Um, and a bag of potatoes is like nothing. You can make now it's winter, so you can make beans, and it cost me almost nothing. So this is the strategy to be able to function well, being able to pay your bills, and be able to still have a creative practice, being able to share your work with the social media, and just be healthy and strong. So that's another thing there. Exercise is also very important, has tons of benefits. And so for me, I'm still working with yoga. I tried, maybe I'm gonna do something completely different and start swimming or something. But uh, I do yoga once a week. I do weight training twice a week at least, and cardio. Last year, I was doing 40 kilometers every week. So you're building up your endurance, your strength, your flexibility, your coordination. I have a few props here I almost never use, but my circus props. And a lot of the moves that I learned through the years, because when I was in Montreal, I was taking so many classes for fitness. There's a lot of the moves that stuck with me that I still remember, whether that's flexibility moves or warm up moves or There's there's a lot that has stuck with me and that I can incorporate now, and trying to have a little bit of a diversity in what I work on to for my exercise. And what's fun about Toronto is that there's a lot of places to go run. There's a lot of trails. There's a lot of biking areas, so I can go do longboarding. It's not necessarily a big exercise, but it's still something, and it's enjoyable. So, but during the summer, I think from now on, I always want to go to the different parks and just run trails. Maybe doing group hikes as well, at least 10 to 15 kilometers, on exception 20 to 30 kilometers. And then the gym is also very, very well equipped here. So there's home fitness that almost it's very cheap. It's about an hour a day, $1 a day, and they have so much good equipment there that I can go and work on different things. So as for muscles, I already know from my training in the gym since I'm 18 years old that I got a little program at the gym, and then they told me, okay, you need to work on this particular muscle, that particular muscle, that's how it works, and a little warm up before, go on the carpet to or stretch it out to get your blood flowing before you start doing the bigger weights, because you can injure yourself. So you can work your different muscle segments, and that's how I do it. I'd go with my shoulders, my back, my abs, my dorsal, my back, my legs, uh, my etc. The all the muscles. So trying to just go through all the muscles at least every week, and to the point where you can be sore because you pushed yourself. So I noticed also that the air quality here is not always good. Like I just last year I lost 15 pounds since the time that I joined the gym because I was doing so much training. And I think that's a very good thing. One of the happy moments of my year were doing the long runs, getting out of the house, taking some sunlight, being going on an adventure. You don't know where you're gonna end up, and you're exploring new areas. You can end up at the beach. So it's enjoyable and it's healthy, and uh, it's a challenge. So I'm gonna continue doing that. And the thing is that sometimes here, especially in my home, there's a street just in front, and one of the things that I learned and noticed last year was the air quality, how the air quality is so, and because of the cars and traffic. So I took the initiative to get plants. There's also the forest fires things, but to get a air filter and plants, and now I have just tons of plants that are in front of my windows. So it's going to purify the air. It's doing it. And one of the techniques, the secrets, is around 5 a.m. That's where the air quality is the cleanest. So you just air out the apartment. I just crack the window, let the air come in for maybe an hour, and this changes the whole atmosphere of the home, and it just keeps the air in a decent quality. For I think that's how I'm gonna do it now. So I need to be up at 5, or at least be woken up at 5. That means I need to go to sleep early. I'm planning on around 7 p.m. to be done. Just be going through my end of the day routine. So that means having a chamomile tea, and maybe a fruit, and doing my self care before bed. Maybe reading. But around, I plan at around 7 p.m. I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna be done with the day, and so can go to sleep around 9 and be up at 5 and crack the window at 5, get the fresh air, maybe start exercising. Uh, so other than that, I planned, because I do brainstorm sessions, and I just planned something that feels right. So things that I'm gonna be working on, and I have I'm planning on the 3 first months of the year to just go through as much of those goals that I set for myself. There's tons, so it's gonna take a while. So that's how I plan on spending my time. I think I did everything. I told everything. So I do meditate. Also, I do a guided meditation every week, and I meditate a few times a week, if not every day, and read uplifting quotes, and so just to keep me motivated. So I think I'm gonna continue to work with my laptop and my music, and once I've gone through most of my goals, I think I'm gonna switch to visual art. But there are so many goals that I'm hoping that I'm gonna go through as many of those goals as possible in the next 3 months, and then we'll see. I'm gonna go back through and see, maybe I'm gonna be in another headspace where I'm gonna have new goals, something that's more exciting at the time that I want to be working on. So as for when I'm doing my music listening, I'm using Quiet Comfort headphones. They're very good. Sounds great from Bose. This was Utada Hikaru that's using that. And but the thing is, when I use it when I exercise, and it gets all sweaty and it starts to tear apart. So I don't know. When it's wet, it doesn't work because it starts making a big noise. So I think I'm gonna sign off, and so that was my update, my big update, and my sharing of my resolutions and what I'm doing, and sharing. Maybe it's a little lesson in how to how to make things work for you. So that's it. I'm gonna sign off now. Thank you for listening. Bye.